we're back with another episode.
All right, y'all, welcome back to another episode of The Face Off with Fleming and Fowler. We are back at it again, and as you can see, we have special guests in the building. Oh, yeah.
Hey.
These are my friends, because I have some, I swear.
That's right. Fowler has friends.
I do, they're here.
My friends are actually in town. They're just not here at the podcast.
Sure, where are they?
They're probably at the Riverwalk. We'll see. But how was your week this past week?
It was great. One of our other friends got married.
Cool.
We celebrated all night. We were all there. We're extremely hungover, so this is going to be fun. Bear with us.
100%.
So you didn't take your meds then?
I did not take my meds today, no.
Okay.
But
It's going to be a great episode then.
yeah, it's going to be, you're just in for a treat,
Yeah.
ladies and gents.
So would you like to introduce your friends?
These are my friends. You can't see them if you're listening with your ears. This is my friend Megan. She is a physical therapist.
Woohoo! Physical therapy!
It's 2 versus 1 today.
That's
Oh my
right.
God.
You have a really nice
It
voice.
is.
Love it.
I know. Wow. I'm starting to second guess my voice. And this is her fiance, Johan. Also a friend of the podcast. He's a doctor. He saves people. He saved a baby last week. He'll tell us later.
Cool beans.
If the baby consents.
Oh, Lord.
So yeah, my name's Johan.
Cool beans. Well, welcome to the show, you guys. I'm so excited to have y'all here. We're going to be talking about some amazing topics, and we're going to get you guys' opinion about it. So y'all strap in. This is going to be an amazing episode today.
Buckle up, baby.
Did you ask me about my week or no?
I never do. How was your week?
My week was actually really good. Definitely almost quit my job yet again. Story of my life. But I did go to the shooting range this past weekend. Shouts out to my friends who actually came in town. Dominique, her husband Giles, and their friend Reggie.
How do you spell that?
Giles.
Nice.
Yeah.
With the G.
So yeah, we went shooting some AR-15s. I must say, I do understand the obsession with guns. I'm not saying that I'm gonna go and like be strapping them to my chest or nothing like that, but I do.
Like
It's
on this
empowering.
It's empowering and it's fun to go. Like, it's a great stress reliever. So I think I'm gonna go more often just to get some stress out. But anyway, yeah, my week was good.
Love
Yeah.
it.
I'm just still thinking about the guns.
Well, I want to hear more about Sophia's wedding. Wait. Did we ever get her? You never got her Girl Scout cookies from like last year, right?
First of all, you know you were supposed to do that, so that's real shady that you'd bring that up on this episode of the podcast when my friends are here.
I'm
You
just
are the one who
saying.
was supposed to get her Girl
Sophia,
Scout
we're gonna
cookies
get you for your
because
wedding
it was
gift.
a-
We're gonna get you your Girl Scout cookies. Don't worry.
Yes, they're in the freezer.
Yeah, exactly.
They're good.
The best
Still.
way to eat a Thin Mint is in the freezer. The wedding was beautiful. It was on the
my
Riverwalk.
gosh,
Yeah.
She is like the sweetest, nicest person. Her husband also isn't bad, so they were just.
Oh my God.
And by that, she means
He's
he's
great.
perfect.
He is great. So they were just a bunch of really kind, sweet people there.
Yeah.
There was an open bar, so I won't complain about that.
Yeah.
I don't think I've been to San Antonio in over 5 years, and I just miss how nice people are here.
Yeah.
I was in
nice.
a a tux in downtown, ordering Whataburger, and I stuck out like a sore thumb. And people were like, "Hey, you look really nice."
Dude, people, every time I'm in, especially downtown, if I'm dressed up, walking down the street, I have multiple people will be like, "That dress looks beautiful," or "You look so nice." I'm always like, "Thank you."
Oh my gosh.
I love this city. You did have to go to the Whataburger by the jail, though. How was that?
They didn't know where I was coming from.
Or the police?
Yeah.
a wedding, a wedding,
They
or
might have thought you were a
jail.
lawyer. They could have thought you were a lawyer.
Potentially.
Maybe
Yeah,
in your tux.
definitely.
With
So-
his double tux button.
Double tux
And I
Yeah.
don't want to tell everyone about that.
Yeah, it was a great
You're
shindig.
an improviser is what that means to
Yeah.
me. But yeah.
I'm definitely going to ask you some questions, though, Johan, later on in the show about
A rash
some
she has
things.
that she has.
Yes. I've been trying very hard to get rid of it, but it feels so good to scratch. Anywho, y'all ready to go ahead and get on into the show?
Let's get on into
All right,
it.
first on the docket, Alyssa wants to talk about this. Adam Levine, go.
Okay. For those of you who don't know, Adam Levine, piece of trash. But we could have called that. I feel like everyone in Hollywood cheats on everyone. No?
We talked about this on the last
Not
episode last
surprising.
week.
Not surprising.
No.
I said that it shouldn't even be called cheating anymore. It's just like a Hollywood relationship. But anyway. What?
I don't feel that way.
Well, what do you feel
I
like?
don't think everyone's faithful and perfect.
Yeah.
But
You're also in love.
I'm
so
sure some-
doesn't count.
It's pretty good for me.
yeah, no. I mean, I get it. Hollywood's also a weird place, and it's full of
Hollywood's
weird people. Like,
agree.
So, monogamy and true
Monogamy doesn't
relation-
exist.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
It must be weird just being able to do whatever you
Do
want,
whatever
whenever
you want. But also
Yeah.
to be surrounded, because I think that adultery is crazy rampant in Hollywood.
Yeah.
So if you're surrounded by a bunch of people who are quote unquote married or dating someone, but everyone else is also hooking up with other people.
I mean, just wild.
I think too, you have to realize that like being a celebrity, the biggest thing is that whoever you are as a person only gets magnified at the more famous you get.
Oh,
Yeah.
So these people were already pieces of shit or amazing people, and it's just personified because now you have status. Yeah, exactly. You have a platform. So I think that's one of the and then too, let's be very real about it. Some people only go with celebrities and date celebrities simply because they know the benefit that it comes with. So they have no expectations of monogamy. And then it's like, if you got with this celebrity and he was cheating on his wife or she was cheating on her husband with you, where do you think you're gonna I think you're secretly obsessed with him. I think you're in love with him.
That dynamic is just crazy to me. She's certified insane. But we also just watched the first episode of the second season of the Kardashians today.
We did.
The second season?
Yeah.
What do you mean?
Well, second Hulu season.
Oh, okay. I was like, what? They've been on for 30 years.
On E, it was Keeping Up with the Kardashians.
Oh,
on
okay.
Hulu, it's just the Kardashians.
More candid.
Okay.
Raw.
Raw and uncut.
They produce it.
Yeah.
So.
They have the rights. Yeah.
Well, even in the news too, what's his name? M.A. from the head coach of the Celtics?
Correct.
He allegedly, and I want to say that for the protection podcast, cheated on Nia Long, y'all. If Nia Long and Halle Berry and Beyonce is getting cheated on, Lord, where do I stand, Jesus? It's
Nia Long
insane.
she still looks the same.
She is, how dare you?
Really, though.
Fucking
Do you
dare
think
you?
she has Botox?
No, she's black. It just doesn't
Black
crack.
people get Botox.
They do, but it's noticeable
Can be true.
at the
They're
same
not
time.
mutually exclusive.
Like, look at the difference between Jada Pinkett Smith and Nia Long. You could tell which one gets Botox and which one doesn't.
Were they
That's
married?
true.
Who?
I think I had Wikipedia that they were never married.
Right.
They were
weren't,
not.
but
They were
who cares?
dating.
They've been together. They had kid.
Common law.
2015, I think I read. They had a kid.
Oh, I didn't know
and then
they
they got
had kids.
engaged.
Yes, they did.
But
Yeah.
I don't think they're.
No, they're not. They're not married. They're still engaged.
But
Yeah.
I'm just
Okay.
okay.
Yeah.
2015. Like, it's been some time.
And apparently she was moving to. So if y'all didn't hear about it, we didn't even go into context. Sorry.
Yeah.
What ended up happening in the news this week, we found out, the story broke that the head coach of the Boston Celtics, yes, he got suspended for a year for the 2022-2023 basketball season because he had a quote unquote inappropriate
But
consensual relationship with a
Very
staff
important.
member, which is like a no-no in the NBA.
But also, why is he suspended? I feel like this happens all the time.
I think it does, but I think when you're the head coach, you're held to a different standard. What do you think, Johan?
So it's interesting because I have some thoughts. They also handed out a big suspension to the Suns owner, Robert Sarver, for a year as well. And Ime got the identical punishment, I believe, whereas Robert Sarver was using the N-word around.
Ooh. I'm assuming he's white?
Yes.
Oh,
yes.
wow.
Wait. But also,
and so
wait,
some people were like, well, why is Ime getting equal punishment when he was in a consensual relationship?
Yeah.
That's kind of messed up.
Who spilled the beans on
Yeah.
eBay?
That's
What?
what I'm
What?
saying.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Like,
crazy.
But some of the people suspect that the reason for a year suspension is for the Celtics and the NBA to collect all the evidence so that they know that they made the right decision. Because apparently when you wrongfully terminate someone, you can get in a lot of trouble.
Oh,
and
very
then
true.
it's not just they might get in trouble with Ime. They got to make sure they don't get in trouble with all the other people they've terminated in the past.
Definitely.
Should they let Ime slide for something that they didn't let other people?
And then they're still gonna have to pay him out for his contract. So either way, the team
like,
loses.
is he gonna just still get paid? Like, you can still get
Oh
paid?
yeah, he's still gonna get his
Like-
contract because basketball was guaranteed money.
And then what happens after? It's like a year's up. Like, does he just resume being the coach
But weren't
again?
the
Or
Celtics
like,
really
does he?
good last year?
So that's what's annoying.
They made it to the championship.
Is
Because
it
that
was
was their year.
Yeah, so it's like a young team, and he's a real hard ass.
Yeah.
And he like really grills them, but is also like has run a tight ship, and that's what led them to the
Run a tight
championship.
ship,
Yeah.
except for where he's cheating on his wife with someone he works with.
Maybe that's what kept him where he needed
Allegedly.
to be.
Yeah, I was like,
Yeah.
Listen, everyone has their vices.
But even outside of that, like Boston is a very previously now reforming racist town that is getting accommodated to having a black coach or things like that. So it was like they were being very progressive and things were going real well. And then
Oh, not a good look.
Yeah, no.
he got a little ahead of himself.
And
Yeah,
I
I
just
did.
that's
I just here's the thing though, like when it comes to infidelity, right? Because everybody has a different definition of cheating. Here's the thing. Stop fucking your coworkers. I don't know what else to say. Like, you're going to cheat. You're not going to stop the people from cheating. Stop fucking your coworkers. Just stop doing that.
And she was the girl who had the relationship was in charge of his travel.
Yes,
right?
she was.
So to me, that says, like, it's not like she was the VP of something, or I don't know. I'm like, if you really like her that much, just get her a new job somewhere else. And then you have the relationship with her, and then you don't have to worry about all this.
They probably thought it was going to be easy. Like,
Well, it's convenient.
And that's exactly what
she has to look at herself like, this was a convenient relationship. Like, this man didn't pursue you. You were just there. You were a pair of thighs and you were there. Like, I just think it's horrible for anybody to get cheated on and then to get cheated on publicly. And then everybody's like, oh my gosh, Nia Long. And, I'm quite sure her DMs are flooded.
God.
That is unfortunate when you have kids too.
To be so publicly embarrassed. God, like, oh. That makes me hurt for her. Wait, do we know how long this has been going on for?
I don't think they released that. At least I'm not sure.
They haven't really. I feel like we still don't know.
There's a lot of unanswered questions.
I just want to know who released the information.
Nia's like, why has Ime been off and busy every Valentine's Day for 4 years?
Like,
he's always on trips and not even on the road.
Exactly.
Yeah, I don't know, but
well, then I feel like they probably had some like feelings for each other,
or
like
something.
him and
someone probably saw. I feel like
mistress.
this was an opportunity for someone else who had this information and was like, oh.
Or maybe he wanted to cut it off and she was like, haha, I got you, bitch.
That's right.
Nia Long.
Yeah.
She doesn't work here.
There's got to be more. Matt Barnes was like very like, why did they fire Ime?
Well, he redacted his statement though. He was like, oh, I'm so sorry.
Yeah.
Before I knew all the evidence. I'm like, shut the fuck up, dude.
Right, okay,
shut up.
Yeah, but he was like the way he was like, when I got the deets.
Yeah.
90 miles, Matt Barnes.
Exactly. Exactly.
Okay, yeah. Okay, yeah.
But also in the news too.
Did we talk about Adam Levine?
We did it.
We did?
We skipped it.
We just went
right over.
What did we say? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, let's circle back to Adam Levine. What's
Adam
going on with Adam
Levine
Levine?
got his spot blown the fuck up because this is she an Instagram model or a model? Is there a difference?
I think she's an Instagram model. I think she... I may be wrong, but I think she said she was an Instagram model.
Sure.
That's why I'm going on her like confession video.
I feel like Instagram.
I think I sent it to you, but
Ever since COVID,
yeah. COVID has changed a lot of things.
Yeah, ever since COVID, the technique. Yeah,
it's just there's a gray area.
We call it models.
She went on to her TikTok as the girls do. Was it? I'm gonna say TikTok. That's what I saw.
I think it was. That's what I sent.
Oh yeah, that
was a TikTok.
The grand reveal.
And she was like, "Hey, girls and guys and gays. I had a relationship with Adam Levine. He tried to slide back into my DMs and ask me if he was okay with me naming his newborn child after me, and saying all of this stuff about their relationship. And then in the next video, she kind of said like, oh, I only came out with this because I was approached by media saying that they had this story, they were going to run with it, so I wanted to give my story first.
Yes, but she said so-called friends of hers, like she told the story to them, and then they were gonna leak it. So then she came out. I think
trash.
Here's my thing.
Now I'm
about
doubting
that.
myself because I'm on camera and
every week. I'm like, did I hear that or did I make it up?
No, my whole thing is, for every celebrity out there, please hire me to be your PR. Just shut the fuck up. Let the stories run. Let the stories go. Because guess what's going to happen? Something else is going to happen and take the heat off you. So just don't address it. The sooner you address it and say, well, yes, that's true. Now you're going to be the topic of discussion for the next 4 weeks. So thank you for giving us content. However,
he was just like, everyone makes mistakes.
No, everyone doesn't. Everyone doesn't cheat, Adam. Okay.
And I would say, get off social media.
Just be quiet. Stop
everyone
talking.
Should have a Finsta if you're a celebrity, but then
give your real one to your manager.
Exactly. So that should be like a public.
Just say you've been hacked.
You're a public entity. You need to be. It wasn't me.
It wasn't me.
I would say have a Finsta. Okay, you haven't watched the Armie Hammer documentary.
No, I haven't.
Okay.
But
anyone? No, I know you haven't.
You know, I don't even know.
So in the Armie Hammer documentary, that shows he was messaging these girls from his regular Instagram account. He had also a burner account, and they got into that once all of this stuff aired, and that was crazy.
I bet
the things he would post, the things he would say, crazy shit. But I'm like, at least he had the common sense to be like, this shouldn't be public access.
Right. Yeah. Okay, but what's embarrassing is those messages he was DMing.
Is that the meme?
You're so fucking hot.
Like you're 15 years old.
No, and that's what everyone's been saying. And I'm like, bro, but for real, Who talks to women like that?
Wow. You'd be surprised.
But she was clearly in. Okay.
He's got no game. He hasn't had to use his game for 20 years.
Right. Yeah, he's a millionaire. He's like, I'm Adam Levine, bitch.
Right. Here's my question. Do you really think he wanted to name the baby after that girl, or do you think it was just him trying to slide back in? I'm like, surely there's no way he wanted to name his baby after his mistress.
There's no way. People do crazy stuff.
That's pretty rude.
People do crazy stuff.
I mean, also, how is his wife doing?
Has she made a statement?
Yeah, should I text her?
Because she's pregnant, and that's, I mean, come on.
Oh. That's why he's trying to name the baby after the model.
I cannot.
Sumner is a cool name. I mean, I do like that name.
It's a cool name, but I think you can find some others.
Wait, what was the name?
Sumner. Like summer with an
N. Who the hell wants to name their baby Sumner?
You know, they're going for the Gunthers, the Arrows, the Gileses. Oh, Lord. I like that name.
I do too. It's cool.
No, I don't know, but I feel so bad.
I know.
That's horrible.
A lot of cheating, a lot of things being unearthed this week.
Stop.
Well, I think also too, another thing that's being kind of unearthed a little bit is how people actually feel about their friendship. So in the news this past week, there was a Texas-born rapper, Erica Banks. She was responsible for the Bust It challenge on TikTok.
Bust It.
Is you? Something. Anyway.
Okay, great.
So she basically went on a podcast or a talk show, and she was talking about how I think she was in the privacy of her own house, and she made a video. She basically just said, if you are her friend and you don't have a particular aesthetic, if your body doesn't look a certain way, your hair doesn't look a certain way, then you can't go out to the club with her. And people in the comments were eating her up and was just like, oh, that's bullshit. You're not a real friend. And I'm like, yes, because she's auditioning for Instagram pictures, so she's not looking for friends. But people were up in a frenzy. Do you all do that as friends? Like, do you all like compare outfits? Like, what are you wearing? What are you wearing?
Hell yeah.
So yeah, but like,
she better come correct because I have to as well.
But not what she's saying was like
out of pocket.
Yeah.
Like I mean.
But also,
I feel like we're more I feel like we're more self-critical. Like, all of like, Alyssa, I can't go out with my eyebrows this dark.
Like, I'll fix them, but you don't have to tell me what to wear because I look stupid.
Yeah, but just like just being girls, you know.
Yeah. This is also coming from people who took 6 hours to get ready for a wedding yesterday and fixed our makeup on top of what the makeup artist did because we had our own vision of what it was going to be. Her dress broke 15 minutes before the ceremony.
No.
I didn't tell you that. Yeah. She was like, "Hey, can you use it? What are you trying to get out of it?"
My wore Spanx for the first time yesterday, and I didn't realize that was a whole thing.
Hey, I need to adjust them. Can you unzip me? And we were like, yeah. Zipper stuck.
Oh,
go down
a
leg. So we finally get it. We're trying to work with it, and then she goes to bend or move, and the whole zipper just like she can feel it.
God.
So the seamstress literally was gonna have to sew her into her dress.
Yeah.
And then it was also like mood because like this is so fashion week of me.
The
dress broke last minute.
Oh my God.
Stitch me and I'll get my way out later.
Exactly. I had to sew my bra. The seamstress came who made our dresses, fixed her zipper, sewed me into my dress because my bra was slipping out of it. Meanwhile, we're like retouching up our hair that the hairdresser did, retouching makeup that the makeup artist did.
You see how easy we get off topic?
Yeah, I was like...
Don't know where that was going, but there we are. But also, we're pretty, and we look great all the time, so it's hard because that's just what my friends come correct with. Do you know what I mean?
It does spill over. I have a buddy who recently texted our group chat.
Oh my God!
And we were recently trying to get geared up to go on a bachelor party in Cabo, and even post Cabo, he said, some of us aren't looking the way we used to. Enough is enough.
That's crazy.
It stops here.
The buck stops here.
Y'all would never want to go out with me because listen, if it requires heels, number one, I'm not going. Number two, I'm gonna find a way to dress up some like Chuck Taylors and call it a day. Like I'm never gonna do that.
That's all I wore.
That's you, and I feel like your friends know that about you.
Yeah, they know I'm not gonna dress up for anything.
You just have
I don't
to know
wear makeup
who
or
your
anything.
friends are.
That's very true.
But also, even if someone did that, like we wouldn't give a shit either, though.
Yeah.
Like we play around and stuff, but like if there's never a requirement, there's never anything. It's like do what you want to do.
No.
Like,
I don't think she should be shamed though for wanting her Instagram pics, especially if she has a brand. I don't think that there's anything wrong with her saying you have to look a certain way. You just have to decide whether or not you want to be a dumbass enough to sit there and follow somebody's instructions on what the fuck you should look like when you go out with her.
Here's the thing. If I have an image in my head, if I have a look and I communicate to that to you, you're not going to ruin my feed because you decided not to follow the plan.
Yeah.
It doesn't mean you can't come. It means you're not going to be in my picture.
Right.
But that's just on me.
Yeah. I think that just goes back to you're a horrible friend. Like, what kind? Stop calling people your friend, because those aren't your friends. These are just people you hang out and go out with.
My friends are girls who get it, and the girls that get it, and that's why they're my friends.
I cannot.
All that to say, don't look crazy when you come to the club with me. You cannot be on my Instagram. Thank you.
I'll tell you what's looking crazy right now. The LA school district. So this is probably a question for everybody on the podcast right now. So LA district has decided to supply the wonderful drug, I'm saying that sarcastically, of Narcan in the school systems from K to 12.
K to 12?
Yes.
We can't do this.
We do this all the time.
So
not even 6 or 7 through 12?
That's what I'm like, why would an elementary school, toddler or whatever require that? But yeah, they are... it's actually K through 12 schools. Los Angeles County District issues drug overdose reversal drug in K through 12
That's
schools.
horrifying.
Who's in charge of it?
Superintendent Alberto M. made the decision on last Thursday, and they were saying that a lot of these schools are deeply impacted. I guess a student passed away last week from a drug overdose, and so they decided to put it in the school.
Why would you have Narcan at a school?
Well, here's the thing. Why are you having Narcan in schools, but then you don't have condoms in schools?
Ooh.
Inquiring minds would like to know.
My thing is, how many things have had to happen for them to be like, oh yeah, we're gonna need Narcan? That's insane.
Yeah, and the fact that you're doing that in elementary school. So
that's what's a little wild to me in elementary school.
That's insane. Like, why would any child come to school needing Narcan,
but
like
also
a potential
kids get
overdose?
guns in elementary school, and you know what I mean.
Oh my
True,
God. Okay. The way
or is it like a Narcan on site thing? Like every nurse has to have.
Yeah, like is it?
I'm not. It didn't. The article didn't say
every kid is given a Narcan
when they have the talk.
So because you're an emergency medicine physician, like how do you see, like you being like living in Chicago previously? Did you see a rise in the amount of like Narcan cases or? So
Narcan
drug overdoses.
Narcan really never does any damage.
Sorry, thank you.
The Narcan, in my opinion, never.
Sorry, take that out. My mom hates when I do that.
No, you're good.
What did you say?
I said JC.
No, she said ill.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
she said JFC.
Oh gosh.
Sorry.
No, you're good. Finish, Dr. Johan.
With the Narcan stuff, there's not a lot of bad stuff that can happen. Sometimes people vomit real bad after, and they call there's pulmonary edema, really. But it's more of what message are you sending?
Exactly.
Is the message, hey, we're okay with you guys doing heroin or whatever it be, any type of opiate, because we have the stuff to save you if you go overboard with it. And there's interesting data on both sides. I think Philly had a hospital for a while where they had sanctioned heroin use. They said, hey, look, we get it. We're not going to get you to stop consuming whatever it is that you want to consume. And you can come here and do it under the supervision of nurses and doctors. Yeah. And so there was actually good evidence on how much that improved healthcare in the Philadelphia area for a while.
Really?
But unfortunately, I think this hospital was, I want to say Thomas Jefferson. Sorry if I'm wrong. But I know, but I know it was something that was experimented on in New Jersey and Philly. So I'm a very rigid person. I'm not. I don't like doing that kind of stuff because of what message am I sending.
Yeah.
But also at the same time, if there's enough data to prove, hey, this is going to help us, maybe LA has enough data to say this might help.
Yeah.
But the other issue that I find an issue with is that. Not to overuse that word. What happened? Because there was, I'll never forget one time growing up, there was a hotel down the block from my dad's office where he worked, and it was just rampant with drugs. And I would always call the police and say, hey, you guys got to do something. This is insane.
Yeah.
And it wasn't until 2 or 3 years later that they completely shut everything down. And what had happened was that two kids from an affluent area, we don't have to guess what race they were.
Exactly.
The affluent kind.
They passed away, and their parents got involved. I think they were from South Lake Carroll, which is a very affluent area in Dallas. And boom, shut down within the next day. Wow. So maybe did something happen in that area? Was there a bold 15, 16, 17-year-old TikToker that,
It's always a TikToker.
did the do?
Yeah.
Not to cast shame on
Yeah.
Listen, we love TikTok.
TikTok.
No, we love TikTok. But I just think
6 hours a day.
Because it doesn't stop. There's no end to it. You don't get to like a recycle point on Instagram. Like on Instagram, you're like, oh, I've seen these photos before. TikTok it's a black hole. It just keeps going.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think that's insane that they would extend that all to elementary school kids, because I think
that age.
What the hell?
Yeah, is nuts. But I just only know this because I did my BLS training thing, but
I just did my BLS.
Don't they include Narcan and AED kits now or something?
I didn't know that. Well, I did mine last year.
Okay. Now in the BLS, they do an opioid overdose, like an opioid section and a.
But I think I think they put Narcan in it
says
now.
Like, if this is the situation, how much Narcan do you give?
Oh.
Police and firemen are equipped with it.
That's on the
true.
new BLS.
Yeah.
Okay, I definitely didn't do that when I did it, but I think that
I know.
glad I didn't take that. No, no, but I think the instructor had said that they're including it in the kit now. But I also was like, is it like the situation in Philly, or like what is it, like the healthcare system job to fix that problem, or can you just be prepared when it's on the rise? Like,
I wonder if there's just so many people dying from quote avoidable death. Like if we just had the Narcan, it would have been. You know what I mean?
I think I'm gonna race bait a little bit. I think it's a colorist issue. Like, black and brown people have been suffering from opioid overdose. Look at the indigenous population, right? Remember they just won that lawsuit, right? And nobody cared that indigenous men and women were dying at rapid rates
in droves.
Right. I mean, they literally pumped this stuff into their reservations. Even crack and cocaine in the 90s, like or in the 80s. So it only becomes an issue when it starts affecting white households. And I think that's one of the reasons why they're pushing it, because it had to be some little white kid that got into something by mistake. They're like, we have to do something. But all the other little Negro kids that have been killed,
you're
it's
not
insane.
Prepared. Who the hell's prepared for a child to overdose on something?
Yeah. It's
exactly.
insane.
But we're not making it about color. It's just patterns. That's all.
But even the police officers, though, I've seen where police officers have literally tried to give Narcan and they get exposed to certain things, and then they end up passing out and having issues and stuff like that when they're doing searches on people, and they get stuck with something, or they open up in the powder. Scary. That's super scary. But for a kid, an elementary age kid to do that is absolutely insane.
I wonder if it's anything like, maybe it's just kids getting into stuff. Like,
that's what I was wondering.
The homeless population in LA at home, the homeless population's really like picking something on the way to school, and they don't know. I mean, maybe their teacher has something.
Or it could be the parents. It could be like just making sure that you have something on site for the parents, and the parents show up. Because I'm quite sure, if a parent can come up and pick their child up in a bonnet to school, I'm quite sure they can come to school high. You know what I'm saying? So it might be they're just trying to cover their bases. But
can you imagine if a little kid was like, "Help! My mommy needs the Narcan."
I think they're going to make an episode on Euphoria about the Narcan.
Really? Oh, stop it. I was like, season 2, I'm ready. Oh, I'm going.
Well, I'll tell you what else. We're not trying to make this a crazy episode, but we're trying to tie it more into medicine. But anyway, I'm not sure if you guys have seen it, but Iraq is...
Was that your stomach?
What?
No.
Somebody fart?
Was it you?
What happened?
I just like...
Oh, me.
That was probably you.
No, my tummy doesn't make noise.
I honestly didn't even notice, but I think I'm just like...
Do your thing, Monica.
I know.
What were
she
you,
always interrupts me. She always does that.
Yeah.
So in Iraq this past week, the Iranian women have been protesting because there was a young lady. Her name, I want to get her name correct because I screenshot it, but I want to make sure I get this young lady's name correctly because the story was very sad. So her name was Masha Amini, and she was a 22-year-old Iranian young lady. And she, I guess, forgot to wear her head covering, and she got arrested. And I'm just saying alleged for the protection of our podcast. She got arrested, and she was put in the back of a squad car. They ended up beating the shit out of this girl.
Oh my God!
She ended up going into the ICU. She was like vented, all that stuff.
Yeah, like coma.
And she was comatose. She was basically beat into a coma, and by the police officer allegedly. And women in Iran have been cutting their hair as well as taking off their hijabs in protest of this young 22-year-old girl being killed by the police in the beginning of September, which I think is absolutely insane.
Can you, just for not wearing a headscarf?
Exactly. Her crime was that she violated Iran's strict rules that require women to cover their hair with a headscarf and wear loose-fitting clothes in public. And The girl was 22. Like, oh my God, it's insane.
And it's wild. I think, like, not even are they catching public slack for this around the world, but I think they had some kind of meeting where someone from their country was going to come meet with us.
Really?
And I forget what delegate for what bureau on our end. And they had asked that our representative also maybe cover up and wear things
no way
that, were appropriate on their end. And I got to look it up, but our person was like, F no.
No.
Absolutely. Like, we're not even doing that over there. You think you're going to ask for that and impose those things over here?
And what if we ask you to take off something versus putting it on like that? But what I wanted to ask you too, and kind of segue into like a medical portion of it, is because, because we work in healthcare, we see all the time how people's beliefs, whether it be religious or their cultural beliefs, kind of interfere technically with Western medicine. So like even patients who are Jehovah's Witness and they refuse to get blood transfusions because it's against their religion. Like, how do you as a physician, and then you Megan as a physical therapist, how do you all navigate through dealing with patients and people who have different cultural beliefs than the system that you were taught by as far as medicine is concerned?
So unfortunately, working in these arenas, you see like the underbelly of things a lot, and so you don't see the best sides of the city, and you do have to take care of people that are assaulted and are victims to this. And to be honest, within like a 2 to however long minute conversation, you're not capturing everything from this person's life in the past several years and all the trauma they've gone. For me, it's very simple, and like this isn't something that they teach per se, like in a syllabus or anything, but my thing is like, look, outside of anything medical going on, is there absolutely any trauma? Is there any abuse? And is there any neglect going on that we need to talk about so that we can better take care of you? And those are kind of my 3 big things. I just kind of made it up, I guess, over the years.
Yeah.
But those are kind of the 3 things I usually lean on.
So when a patient comes in, let's say a Jehovah's Witness comes in and they're just like, oh, well, they need a blood transfusion. Let's just say their H&H is like 4 and 7. I'm just making out outrageous numbers.
Great numbers.
And, and like, how do you as a physician navigate through saying, I know you came to me for help and I'm trying to help you, but you're technically refusing the help that I'm trying to give you.
I have been in this scenario. I was not expecting to have to talk about it. Post wedding, post Adam Levine.
A lot is going on.
Now we're getting to the nitty gritty.
Nitty gritty.
Yeah, and have you been in that situation?
Yeah.
Yes. I feel like my story about this isn't as cool.
No, it's fine.
Well, it's not about being cool.
It's not about
it's just
being real. No.
This is where we stop being friendly.
Polite and start being real.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I work in acute care, so you ladies are super familiar with that. But having patients who, like, in this exact same situation, I think it actually caught me by surprise because I knew this was all going on, but then I knew this lady was like getting ready to leave the hospital soon, and then I just went in her room because she's needing therapy. Like, she needed to go to rehab actually, and then of course was refusing that too, the whole thing. But then I knew this was going on, but then we still worked with her like twice a week or whatever we needed to work with her for to go to rehab or whatever. I was like, oh, everyone's doing it. Like, she must be like hanging with this like hemoglobin of 5. She's killing it, like rocking it. But then I like went in her room and I was like, oh my God, you look like terrible. Like, you look terrible.
You can curse. Shit, fuck.
Well, like, shit, fuck. You look like shit, fuck. Somebody do something. Wait, we can't.
Are you okay, Lee?
Yeah. No, I know. And then, and I knew her hemoglobin's been low. It's like everyone's been working with her like that. And you know when everyone's already been doing like the scary thing, you're like, I get it, whatever.
The notes say she was okay.
But then I was just remember being like, oh, I don't even care that they walked like 45 feet last time. I'm scared. Like, I don't know what to do. Like, what if she just passes out? I mean, she was a little peanut, so it would have been fine. But no, I mean, it's just like, oh, shoot, you're really just like choosing to do this.
Yeah.
And it's not like you just, like, you don't treat anybody differently.
Well, that's the thing.
But you can't help but think, like, God, I wish you'd.
Yeah, you're like, but also to us, like, a blood transfusion is so simple.
Choice.
You're just like, just get the damn blood.
I know,
but you can't.
But it's like, but that's what they
spirituality.
Believe. Yeah,
with them
like,
too.
and I'm not that, but I don't like have those beliefs. But I'm like, but I respect yours. Yeah. So okay, but I'm just like, yo, whoa, it is wild. Like, please don't fall. Like,
but at the end of the day, the 2 words that stick out within what you said is choose and belief.
Yeah.
And who's making that choice and whose belief is that? Is it yours?
Absolutely.
Or is it the annoying family male member that's standing at the by the door and is imposing themselves on us? Is that the person? Because if you don't feel comfortable with that, I will gladly kick this person out so it can be a conversation just between you and me and no one else. And so that's actually a conversation I've had several times where we have to like take that person out of the equation. This is just you and me, whether it be with blood transfusion, human trafficking, like any of those things that we were talking about. And so I just try to pose it as, hey, this is your choice on what you want to do, what's best for you. And you're a young person. You know, you still got a lot of life ahead of you. And you are of a religion that is all about forgiveness. Yeah. Right? So...
Yeah. And I think also too, just making the patient feel like they are in charge of their health care, which is basically what they exactly having autonomy. Because I think a lot of times a patient says, well, yes, I want to live. And then like, even with us working with COVID patients and stuff, especially in the very beginning of the pandemic.
Do you know what you have to do to live?
Exactly. And I remember having these conversations, these very tough conversations with patients, like screaming at them, like, do you want to live? Do you understand you can die if you don't get up? And it's just like, some people may say they want to live, but then all of the details that are involved in actually living, they're just like, I didn't really sign up for all this. Like, yes, I want to live without all of these things, and it's like, well, no, you're unfortunately gonna have a new normal.
The choice anymore.
Exactly. And I think also too, just making them feel a part of their own care. Like, listen, you're gonna work with me either way. Like, that's not. But you get to choose. Do you want to go to the bathroom first, or do you want to walk the halls first? Okay, cool. But so I'm gonna give you a choice, but technically not a choice.
And to me, that's the coolest part about therapy, because you get like a 2-minute conversation with people. You're in and out. All the doctors are in and out, but we're stuck in this room, and I'm like, what the hell is going on? Tell me why you don't want to do it. Tell me what your reservations are. Tell me how we can help you. Tell me how we can make any kind of... Why do I keep forgetting the words when this person and this person come together and they make a compromise? Because I don't do it.
She's like, because I actually don't know what that means.
Problem mid-sentence. Like, what?
That's the best part, because the doctors are so in and out, and people, it's like everyone forgets what they want to ask the doctor when they're in there, because it's just, you guys have so much information. You're trying to tell them what they need and the important stuff, and you guys have other stuff to do.
We talk about that all the time. Like,
no therapy from us, just doctoring.
Just give us the order. That's all we need.
I just need the order. I'll get in there.
Yeah, we talk about that all the time, of like the different sides of the hospital we work on, because like the ER is like fucking crazy, you know.
I hate going to the ER.
It's crazy, but then on my side of things, like, you know, and I feel like we had like when you were there, Monica, too, like we had a very like similar work environment of like high acuity, lots of transfers, transplants, like very, from what Lizzie's told me, like our work is like insanely similar, and y'all get the shit. Yeah. The people, you were just talking about the other day, that the COVID patient that had COVID. Patient first.
Thank you, patient first.
But the patient that you found out that like passed away, and you're like, it's like you spent like so much of your time trying to get it better, but then sometimes when you just know, like, you know what, you do this shit every day, you know exactly what's happening, because that is what it is. That's when you work with these high complex patients, like they're high risk for these surgeries anyway. But when you just getting to know someone and like they're a part of your life, you spend an hour-ish almost 5 days a week with them. Like it's so like I think emotionally, like that's like crazy with the difference like between our jobs, because I've heard the stories, you know, like it's like you have those people, then they really stick with you, and you like, shit, it's like hard, you know, like it's definitely stuff like emotionally you can like take home sometimes.
Yeah, Megan's been on the news for patients she's taking care of.
Really?
Her patients text her and tell her thank you so much for, you know.
Not anymore.
They don't text me.
And
you know,
I get,
it's legal, I promise.
If anything, I get, 1 out of 5 star rating.
He took too long to give me my medication.
I was in the ER for 9 hours.
Dr. V didn't bring a ham sandwich when he was trying to transfuse the patient next door.
I told him I needed water, and he never came back.
I loved my physical therapy nurse, Alyssa. She was great.
I hate when they call us.
Things, and none of them were what I do.
I hate when they call us physical therapy nurses. I'm like, we're not nurses. First of all, you couldn't pay me enough money to be a nurse, because they work way too hard.
When the family calls, hey, I got my 2 nurses in here. I'm working with my nurses.
You're getting the 2 for 1 deal?
Yeah. You are the best nurse I've had while I was here. I'm not the damn
nurse.
You need to remember who gives you your meds.
And it's just hard too because we'll be in rounds and these doctors are, a lot of them are black and white because that's how medicine is a lot of the time. And you have all these patients and you're going through all this stuff. It's very quick, and they'll see a patient or you're talking about them and they're like, oh yeah, it's not looking good. Not great. Yeah. So you're like, well, shit, I can't go in the room now and be like, I have to be happy and upbeat because everyone just said they look like shit and they're probably gonna die. So now you have to carry that around.
I've had that's one thing I hate about when doctors do. It's like they're like, oh, can I have 5 minutes of your eval time? Sure. And then they say, yeah. So you're gonna die in a week, and you're just like,
literally,
there's metastasized everywhere. There's no going back. This is all we have to do. We have no other plan. But go ahead and keep working with therapy. We want you to keep getting stronger, and we'll come back and talk to you later. And I'm like, you asshole.
It's the most annoying thing. I'm just
and
like,
then they're just distraught in tears when you leave, and you're just like scooping them up,
and you can't walk away.
So you want to get back to bed?
Exactly. I don't know what to
some graham crackers.
No, the best is when you're like gate belt in hand, walking to the bathroom and you're like,
that is too
Can
funny.
you sit down?
Yeah, it's insane. But I want to get into something a little bit more fun now. Yes. The fun part of the episode.
That was a lot.
So,
heavy.
Johan, you are, and I'm going to ask the same question to both you, Johan, as well as Megan. So why did you want to become a doctor? And we asked Dr. Foreman the same question. Why did you want to become a doctor?
You want to go first?
No, go ahead.
Oh, man.
If you want time, I will go.
Just a little bit of background, I guess. You know, I was born in Honduras. Mm-hmm. And when I came to America, when I was brought to America, I was just like, well, I have to, be the future for my family, my culture. So I got to do what are the renowned things, being a lawyer, being a doctor. Mm-hmm. And I was like, well, yeah, I'm not the most well-spoken, and I'd rather...
English is not my first language. Like, well, I'm not speaking English. I can't quite speak English yet.
So I don't know. I wanted to help people, so I figured, well, I might as well try to be a doctor and push that. And then it was more so along that journey because you make the decision, honestly, like around 18 years old when you sign up for what classes you want to be, what you want to do in like 12, 13 years, which is kind of messed up. So shout out if you want to go to med school or do anything, reach out to someone who's done it so you really get a good perspective on it.
Yeah.
And don't be afraid. Don't be shy about it. Just do it, and they'll help you out.
Some not great people who became doctors. So if you want to become a doctor, he's not one of them. He's perfect. If you want to become a doctor, you can do it. There's people I know that I went to school with that are doctors that I'm like, how did you?
Just remember, you only need a 2.0 to stay in med school.
There you go.
So it wasn't really until like you actually have patient experiences, be them in when you're trying to put something on your resume so that you can apply to medical school, or once you're in medical school, actually having patient encounters. And it's really along that way you're like, okay, I could do this.
Gotcha.
So I don't know.
When did you want to do emergency medicine?
That was really
You know, when I met him, he told me he wanted to be a brain surgeon. Whoa. I don't know if that was just to try to
the flex
pick me up.
He was like, what's the hardest thing I can do? Oh, I'm going to be a brain surgeon.
Actually, that's what he told me. So
no, I told her you have Captain Save-A-Ho energy, so it didn't.
She did text me that the other day.
It's called compassion.
Oh, sorry. He's called a first responder.
He doesn't.
Yeah, I didn't really. I guess I wanted to honestly do something surgical initially, but then I got a taste of it during medical school.
Yeah,
and it's like you're in the OR, you're not really having a lot of patient encounters, and it's hard.
Yeah, you don't have a life.
It is a 5 to 7 year journey during residency, where you might be on 24-hour call every other day.
That's no life.
When on your days off, you're trying to do research. In some kind of specialty because, hey, I actually don't just want to be a surgeon. I want to be a vascular surgeon or something. Yeah. And in order for me to do that, I have to have a publication. And so it really consumes you. And so I asked myself, I was like, okay, this is going to consume me until I'm in my mid-30s. Yeah. And that'll be maybe half my life. That's insane. And so I figured, well, like, time is a precious commodity. Yeah. And I, at that point, had been with Megan for several years. And I was like, the best thing I could do in this world, no matter what your career is just be a good parent. Yeah. That's my thought. So I was like, how can I be most present for my family down the road with the career that I chose? And so, and I'm not saying that, it's just easier to be an emergency medicine doctor. It just offered a 3-year residency and the opportunity to when I'm at work, I'm at work. When I'm at home, I'm at home without having to take calls or do work at home.
All that extra.
So yeah.
What about you, Megan? Why did you want to become a PT?
A doctor of physical therapy.
A doctor of physical therapy.
A doctor
couple.
I played basketball. I did the whole traditional like sports route, you know. Like I was like, I want to be a PT and work with like, you know, ortho stuff. But it was I stopped playing basketball my last year of high school, and I was an athletic trainer because I was like, oh, that looks so cool. And, like, it kind of seems very physical therapy-y. I was like, I actually don't really know what I want to do, like for a career. And I kind of I knew it was probably going to be something kind of medicine-y, but I just didn't know what route, I guess. And then so I was an athletic trainer, and I really liked that. I liked the sports environment. But I also kind of like the injury part of it. And we had a really cool athletic training program at my high school. So, like, I had to learn anatomy. We had to actually learn shit. And, you know, learn how to tape, but we had to, like, it was, like, science-y, too. Wow. Not insane, but you know it.
She loves science.
I love science, too. That's my favorite subject.
The girls love science. So, science is real.
Hot girls love
Little
science.
plug right there. Yeah, so I was like, okay, kind of want to be a PT. And it was, again, thinking it was going to be this, like, outpatient route. And then I got to college, and I really don't know what specifically, like, got me into the hospital, but, I am, like, a hospital girl. I will never be to my knowledge right now, what my interests are.
No, I agree. I don't want to go anywhere else but hospital.
I love the hospital.
Same.
And I don't know.
You can thought and bop in a hospital.
You really can.
You can. And
You're
it's
meeting
fun.
new people.
It's busy. It's fun.
It's an organism.
It's an but I'm like literally I guess I'm also just like social. So like literally the minute I walk in, it's like the security at the desk. I'm like, sure, yeah, what's up? You know, and like EBS, like shout out to EBS. It was just EBS week, I think, somewhere.
1,000.
Like shout out.
And it was rehab week. Happy rehab week.
Oh my god.
Was it?
Yeah.
It's almost PT
Happy
month,
rehab
and
week.
I'm forgetting because I'm not working.
Oh
right
yeah,
now.
PT month is next week.
So,
next month.
I guess
Monica,
taking a little sabbatical.
I am taking a sabbatical now that we've moved. Monica, happy PT month.
Thank you.
Early
Happy PT month to you as well too.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yes.
There we go.
Gorgeous.
Should we do an ambulance noise?
Yeah. It's not on the soundboard right now. Yeah, I don't know, but I did take some like healthcare, like Spanish for healthcare classes, and then it just like got my mind kind of like more focused on the hospital, and I really like languages too. I'm not fluent in Spanish with all the classes I've taken so far, so it's really embarrassing. I'm proficient, but not fluent. But
San Antonio, you can
I was
work
like,
here.
I want to be able
Spanish.
to use that at work, and I could have just moved here. How
here.
silly of me. No, but and then I kind of started shadowing and did the whole like hours for PT school, you know, have inpatient. But I was like, no, I love the hospital. And so funny. When I was in PT school, and you know, we do our little rotations and everything. Anxiety. Terrible. I was like so convinced. I was like, I really want to work in like inpatient neuro.
Yeah.
Like I was convinced like that's what I wanted to do, and I still really am interested in that. But that is not where like. We moved to Chicago. Oh, sorry, I just poked you in the face. We moved to Chicago for residency for him, and
stat.
Yeah. And I got a job in acute care, and I was like, this is so funny because this is what I like didn't really think I wanted to do, or like that where I thought I was going to end up. And it's just so funny when you make plans for yourself and then you end up somewhere else. I was like, oh, I will never do anything but this. I will never write a long note. Like
Never.
Short notes only. Acute
one
care.
Therapist who was like, I really always wanted to be in acute care. Everyone like falls into acute
Yeah.
care.
I actually wanted to do pediatrics when I was in PT school, and then I did one little session with a kid, and he kicked this therapy ball in this PT's face, and I was like, whoop his ass. I was like, nope.
You know
and
what?
to the old people I go, yeah, I was like, I'm not doing
That's
it.
it for me because I can't. I wouldn't know how to control my like what the.
Yeah.
Or like
You'd have another deficit
like
after
anything.
me.
Yeah.
No, I loved peds, but it was these parents are not doing it.
Yeah.
Alyssa's like, your mom's a bitch, Timmy. I can't. I fucking can't.
Hey, Timmy, your mom's a freaking backstabbing whore.
Don't tell your mom I said this,
but she sucks. And if she can get you on a schedule for 2 weeks, this whole autism thing, we could really get it under control.
I could not. Oh my god. Okay, let me just actually ask these questions.
Yes.
Johan, I'm gonna start with you. top 3 things that you hate about PTs and OTs.
Oh.
Girl, he doesn't even know. He worked like one trauma rotation. And it was like, a PT yelled at me today. He came home cried, but it was like, a PT yelled at me today. I was like, what'd you do?
We are
What'd you do? Yeah.
What?
Put him on bed rest.
You know, to be honest, I don't interact with them too much down there.
I don't talk. Yeah. No,
only the strokes, and we're like, yeah, they're fine.
Yeah, no, I got nothing to say because I don't know. I feel like sometimes there's this like perspective people take that like, oh, because I put in the orders, people have to be subordinate and you know fall under that. And honestly, like we're a team, man.
Yeah.
Like the only way we can get that freaking annoying patient back home
you get
is
them
out of this ER.
Everyone does everything. If EVS cleans the room, if you know we have a room for the patient with a nurse, with the PT, with OT, with case management, we need the whole team.
Yeah.
Okay, am I gonna get them out? No.
That's not my job.
I just write the orders and the notes.
He told me one time, he was like, yeah, I got a guy from the toilet, like a chair to a bed, or like he like did a transfer. But it was so they
that was his proud moment.
No, seriously, they like for his residency obviously did like ER rotations, but then they also did trauma and like ICU. I don't know if they had a lot of therapy in the ICUs that you worked at, or if you'd see it just with like call and stuff, or I don't know, whatever. But when he was doing trauma, he did see therapy finally. Like, so it was so funny just to hear the stories. But he was like, one time he's like, yeah, I did a transfer today, and I was like, and I also am like trauma. I'm like non-weight bearing, like probably like bilateral, like arm versus. I'm like, did you do it right?
Yeah.
He's like, I threw him back in the bed.
Like, you know when the med student tries to get the patient up, sets the alarm off, they never turn the call bell off. Everyone's running in the room and they're just staring at you. I'm like, turn the shit off.
Wait, why did a PT yell at you?
I don't know. I don't recall.
I don't even know what I did.
but I mean, I guess if there's anything I could pick for anyone, PT, OT, nursing, doctor, whoever the hell in there, is communication. Like if there's something that you need to tell me, just say it, because there's a rhyme or reason for why, rather than just like not even yelling at me, but being upset that I did something. So
people love to like. Well, I feel like on a surgical service, I don't know how it was like at the hospital for you guys, but it's just so like tense, I feel like. And it's like the one like with residents, like they're not going to do surgery, they're just rotating on surgery for 1 month, so they don't know like how smooth, like, you know, how smooth everything needs to go, or how to order this and so it's like I was like, they're like, that's what it sounded like the stories were to me when I think
also too, one of the things that I hate about residents is because it's only the residents that you get that think they know everything, and it's like, I can make your life a living hell, or I can make it very smooth. That's why even too, like with physicians, I always tell like interns, if you treat the way you treat your CNAs and your nurses are going to dictate your future. Because if you piss off a CNA, they can ruin your career if you really don't know what you're doing. And so too, some residents, they come in like they're attendings, like with the big shit, just like, oh, I'm going to interrupt you. And I'm just like, if you don't get the hell out of my room, I will knock you out. I don't give a damn because you got MD behind your name. I got a doctorate too. Get the hell out of here. Yeah. And they're just like, oh, hi, Ms. John. No. I'm in the middle of my evaluation. Would you interrupt a neurologist like that? Would you interrupt a cardiologist? Don't do that shit to me. I am a specialized clinician. Don't do it. And they're just like, okay, I'll come back. Thank you. You do that.
I feel that energy. Yeah.
Meanwhile, I'm wiping ass, and I'm like, oh wait, next time.
It depends. If they're nice, then I'll work around it. If like I'm
as long as you're nice about it.
But it's that energy where it's like the devil eyes.
They act like you don't exist. That's the problem. It's like when they act like you don't exist.
Also, they ain't going nowhere until I put my nose in coach.
And give you recommendations.
No. My favorite. Let me come in and say my 2 cents. But this is so much more important. I'm going to let you guys get back to that.
Exactly.
I'm like,
and they'll be like, keep doing what you're doing and work with therapy. Well, bitch, they were.
This is good.
Yeah.
They were working.
This is good. Keep doing this.
Now the patient's like, well, I really have like 15 more questions. No. PT's way more important, but you just came in and gave them results. It's like, just wait until we're done.
You sound real genuine with that, terminal diagnosis you just gave them.
I had a patient last week, and I had literally done the eval. This man wouldn't let me leave. I was like backing out of the room, and one of the doctors walked in.
Yeah.
He's super sweet, and he starts talking to him, and I'm like, oh, perfect. So I was like, hey, doc.
Exit strategy.
The patient goes, don't go anywhere. And starts talking to me, and I was like, no.
I hate that.
Yeah.
I hate that.
So it was funny, as I was one of many chiefs at my program. Shout out to UIC, one of the best programs in the nation.
Woohoo!
Wow.
Because
Did you do an air horn for that?
Yeah.
They're a fun bunch. And so I guess one of the things that a lot of people worry about at the start is like, so we basically have to run to like all the RRTs and manage them. And it's like, well, you're basically walking into a room, you have no idea why the patient's dying. What do I do? And it's like a whole care team, and you're the one running it. And they were like, what's the best advice for how to do that, how to manage that? And it's like, well, just be humble, because you gotta have a couple of those under your belt, and you'll learn along the way. But odds are, there are so many other people in that room with experiences that have been in situations way more often than you, and just soak up as much as you can from them. I've had so many times techs have saved my ass, nurses, whoever have just saved me for making a big mistake. So yeah, be humble.
Yeah, definitely. So what's the, Megan, let me ask you a question. What's the worst thing about being a physical therapist, do you think?
Ooh, worst thing about being, okay. I actually do know. I was like, got it. Ready.
No, forefront of the mind.
I think kind of like stemming from like the acuity that we've worked with and that sick population that, you know, kind of like the sickest people in the hospital, right? That realistically, you know, kind of where it's going. It's kind of like, when is it going to go there, and when it's going to take the turn for the worse. But kind of when, not all programs, and not all doctors, but when some of them kind of use therapy as like no, you need to do therapy for this to get better, or for you to go to the LTAC to vent wean, or for you to like, you know, you're on ECMO, you got to be walking with therapy. It's like, bruh, like they're just fighting to stay alive. Like, and also don't put this on us like it's this burden, and then because you know, when you're I've spent like over a year with like some patient, like months, like you have to like develop this and that's the thing I love the most about being a therapist too, is like when you have these relationships, like you become a part of someone's life, and someone becomes a part of your life, and it's relatively positive. Well, when they're like those ones that they just
you
get
keep on your caseload because you love
100%.
They're your projects.
That is what I love most about the job, and just what's the most frustrating. Oh my God, y'all talked about productivity the other day, and that is my second part of that answer.
What are we being
That's the second part of that answer, because fuck that shit. It's so annoying. What are you paying me for to do all day? Work. So don't try to me, whatever.
You want results or not?
Yeah, literally. But I don't like when it's like, you know, push it in this direction of like, oh, therapy's gonna fix this. Like, don't give the family that hope that like, you know, you verticalized in the bed for 10 minutes today and didn't die, like, you know, or like put that pressure to work, like to push, like, you know, when people are super, super sick, it's like, well, I don't want to feel like we need to do XYZ more things today, like just because like the doctors are saying it, or just the sentiment of the family when they come in, like this pressure, oh, you have to work today, or like you're not gonna live, like no, like
one day we're gonna fix it all.
Do you know what you're hooked up to right now? Do you know? Like,
you're on ECMO. We can't take that off today.
Literally, and obviously I worked like in an ICU. I understand, like, we get the early mobility thing. You don't have to tell me to, like, whatever. No, it's the fact that it gets like pushed to that limit, but then also it gets branded as this answer of getting them out of the hospital, when it's like just to go to, like I said, like an LTAC or just some shit like that.
Like, well, you know, you really need to be you just need to work with therapy. That's why you're not getting it. You're dying.
But when
but PT and OT
it doesn't
will fix
matter
you.
how strong your muscles are. Your body is dying.
Yeah, don't say that to patients. Don't say that to their family, because then it just creates this like stress, this like just this shit, like, or just like this false hope of an answer.
But then also we always become the bad guy, because then it's like, well, therapy said this, and therapy's not seeing me, or therapy doesn't want to do this, or therapy is too sick.
And y'all, because like I know you see a lot more like cardiac stuff than I did. I was seeing more like pulmonary. Those are different services, like at where I was working. And I did work like with a lung transplant population a lot, and that's a lot of the back and forth. And you know, therapy is a huge thing, but I think that service in particular, with my experience, was a lot more like positive with therapy. The relationships with the providers and the therapists were really good, and we were close, and because we all dealt with this, like those patients are there so long, like we all deal with it, we know the back and forth. But I think a lot of like surgical services, and this is again just my experience at my hospital, that pressure of like, you have to be in there, you have to be doing this, like
those results.
So I see a lot of that, and I feel like you don't really get as much autonomy sometimes of like what you want to do on those type of like that pressure from maybe those type of situations. Yeah. We could kind of do basically, but like with our good, because we're all like intelligent, like good judgment. We work together, we collaborate, so we kind of do whatever we wanted. That was really cool about my job. I like that a lot. But
I think one of the biggest things too about like the relational dynamics between PTs and MDs, I always found it, the one that you fight with the most trusts you the most. And it's like with physicians, they will come in and be like, well, I want this patient seen twice a day. And I'm like,
absolutely not.
I'm sorry, raise your hand if you went to PT school. Oh, your hand's still down. Right. Shut your mouth. Let me do my job. Exactly. They can't even tolerate 2 sessions.
Oh, and of course it's always that. It's in the protocol, but it's like, they're like,
you can't tolerate 1 session.
Right. Okay.
But I think
just curious.
I think physicians too, like I think it's almost like kind of like a baby. Like I think, and this is just my perspective as a PT and the physicians that I've worked with. It's almost like, okay, I brought this person back from the dead. This is my baby. Yeah. Don't do anything to harm them. And it's like, it's all kind of about control. Like I'm the same way. If I tell Alyssa, hey, can you see my patient, blah, 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 but can you do these things? Because I already know the plan that I have for this patient. Yeah. And I just want you to execute that. I want to make sure you don't kill anybody.
He does great, except for he has horrible anxiety. You'll be in there for 2 hours. And if you roll him to the right, he'll die. That's the kind of patient she gives me.
I gave very, very detailed instructions. Thank you.
Don't bring up the Cowboys game.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, and don't bring up the Cowboys.
Exactly. My thing is, all the doctors, it's these crazy patients that the doctor's like, or we need therapy, do whatever we can, and we expect these crazy results, but then I'm trying to do all these things, and they're like, well, no, we're not going to do that. Yeah. But we're not going to make this happen. We're not going to do, and then I'm like, I know what I need to do to make this to happen, but I need you to do all of these things
right.
too.
And then there's also the case management parts that comes into it, be it throughput, getting people in and out, and it's just like, there's a situation that happens, it's like, okay, if we are I think therapy, rehab services, and case management always go back and forth about who drives disposition. And here's the thing. If you cannot move this patient and get them accepted into a facility without my evaluation, I think we all know who's driving this bus. That's all I'm going to say about that. I respect every case manager in the world, but I'm telling you this now. If you need my note to get this patient out of here, I'm the one with the motherfucking keys.
Literally, we just said this.
I've never called a case manager and said, "Oh, they really want to go home today, and I think they're ready, but I need you to go ahead and no." Never.
You don't even touch the patients.
No,
get out of here.
We were just talking about that.
Case managers are very valuable. We cannot do what we do without them.
And I wouldn't want to do that job because it's hard.
Exactly. But so, last question I want to ask you guys both about. So this is a funny one, I think.
Let's do it.
So the world is ending, right?
Okay.
You can only choose one discipline in a hospital setting to survive with. Who are you picking and why?
That's a good one.
Only one discipline. Who are you picking and why? You can only pick one person. What's their job title?
Damn.
One person or one group of people?
No, one person. And that you have to pick their profession in the hospital setting.
Like if I pick a profession, I get that whole group.
You just get that one person with you to survive.
Okay. She's like, Alyssa, I said the fucking question 5 times.
You can't control the apocalypse, Alyssa.
She's like, but what if?
Yeah. Like, if I had to choose a group of people, it's EVS, 100%.
Oh my God, yes.
I'm saving EVS.
So that's your response, EVS? Okay, Megan, what's yours?
Wait, is this like a person that's like to survive? Like they're gonna help me like
survive.
Yes, okay, you guys are gonna help each other to survive in the world.
Okay. I have 2 on my mind. I feel like one is a no. I feel like he's gonna say it though.
No, go for it. Go for it.
I mean, really, an ER doctor.
Oh,
okay.
Honestly,
convenient.
Okay, I'll let him answer, and then we can talk about why.
Dr. Johan.
Everyone says theirs.
Who are you picking to survive the apocalypse?
I'm not gonna lie. I was gonna jump on the whole. Probably disaster medicine trained ER doctors.
Yeah.
Probably something like that. If it's like mass casualty, you probably want disaster.
But I'm kind of cheating because he just finished residency, and so I know that that's possible. That there's a whole when you were saying that tactical thing you did with like the they have a whole like tactical medicine branch of like ER.
Oh, it got canceled because of COVID. We were gonna do something with like.
Okay. Yeah. That sucks.
But it's tough though because at the end of the day it's like, someone that is ER trained, they can stabilize you and but should it be surgical in any nature, we then have to tap on the surgeon's
this
shoulder.
is like survive the apocalypse.
Yeah, this is survive the apocalypse.
This is shit you live
apocalypse?
for.
Yeah. Oh, hands down.
yeah.
Hands down emergency
like,
medicine.
"Shut
I'm
emergency
sorry.
medicine?
Yeah.
I'm sticking with EVS, but okay.
EVS.
Okay.
I honestly, the old maintenance guy, for me.
The old maintenance guy.
He's gonna build a shelter. He's gonna be able to catch food. He's a jack of all
You got
trades.
first aid.
Exactly.
BLS,
Yeah.
you got that
Exactly.
covered.
I got that all covered. All the medical stuff I got it.
Vascular procedures.
Yeah, no.
Yeah. Okay.
They're gonna be the strongest, the handiest.
Can I
Just
mention
saying.
something about EVS and
Yeah,
maintenance?
absolutely.
If you have
A loved one that's been affected by
That's Ophelia.
Please reach out.
it was the baritone and the pause.
This is very important to me.
Okay, you have the floor.
And this is because I, can buy food for the department now.
Mm-hmm.
And when I buy, when I bring stuff for the department, please share with the EVS workers. Please share with registration, with maintenance, with whoever you see frequently in the hospital, because it's good to include them. There's so many times that I'll tell a little EVS worker, "Hey, come have some pizza with us," and they're like, "Really?"
Oh,
Yeah, they're the
And I was
sweetest
like,
people.
because they've been passed over before, and it's like, no, like I see you every day, so I don't know.
Also, they get ridden so hard. We never have beds at the hospital, so it's like as they're wheeling someone out there, landing the heart is coming down, and all these people are busting ass to clean the room. You cannot run a hospital without those people.
Without everyone.
Without everyone.
True.
Truly. But
I was like, oh my God, leaving Chicago was so hard. We were so sad. I love my job, so it was so hard to leave. And like my girls from
Your
EVS,
EVS girlies?
yeah, I'm not gonna say their names. We'll just
protect their identity.
Yes.
Identity protection. Because if you or a loved one has been affected by identity,
Mesothelioma.
also, no one will make
You've
you
been passed
feel
over
more
for lunch.
No one will make you feel more seen than someone on EVS as you're walking down the hallway and you just look over and they're just like, I know, girl.
Hospital
And you're
workers,
like,
period.
yes.
No, but
They're
I
amazing.
mean, my sweet little lady, she just literally was just like, I told her I was moving, and I like before my last day, I told her that we're moving and we're gonna see her, and she's just like, little work mom.
Yeah.
So she's like, you know what, you got my mom always said, if you have an opportunity to do better, you got to do better. Go for it. Don't be scared to that.
They're the hardest working
I'm
people.
moving for my mans, but
they're the hardest working people in the hospital.
Oh my gosh, yeah. I mean, and just why the hospital's so cool. Like,
I know.
it's just
so many cool
It's just
people.
a big family, and when you're in the right place with the right people, it's just so fun.
Ain't that the truth?
It is.
Jeez.
But yeah.
Anything else we need to talk? Do you want to talk about what we're watching? Are you watching anything this week?
I don't think I've watched anything. I watched anything.
Oh, I did want to say this. There's
Kardashians.
We won't bore you guys.
There's the first all Native American
The trio.
cartoon that's coming out. Actually, the young lady Cree Summers, she actually played Freddie in A Different World. No, and she's doing the voiceover. So it's a first all Native cartoon.
That's cool.
That's actually coming to Netflix. It's called Here Come the Spirit Rangers, and it's actually coming out October the 10th, 2022. Y'all make sure y'all go and support that. The first all Native cartoon that's been brought to you by Netflix, and the creator is Carissa Valencia.
That's amazing.
And that's super cool.
We watched the first episode of season 2 of the Kardashians today. That's
We already
what
talked
we've
about
been
that.
watching. The Armie Hammer documentary. Shit's insane.
I want to see what's the one that everybody keeps talking about, the Jeffrey Dahmer one.
Oh,
I want to
We
watch that.
just had a whole
Okay,
conversation
we had a whole-
about it.
But
over
have y'all watched?
Facebook.
Okay, well don't.
No,
we
okay,
haven't watched
okay,
it yet.
okay. I haven't watched
I
it
have
yet
a
either.
question for you. And I get it. Crime podcasts, all that, like, people are into this stuff, and it's so fucking sick and twisted. Like, that's like, it interests people. That's what we're talking about this at dinner. I guess it's so I watch this shit too, right? Okay, but I feel like it's so interesting to people because it's so crazy.
Yeah.
Like, we just want to, like, I think it's like part of the human mind is like, how can someone be this crazy? And then also it's like the visuals. But what I was asking her is like Jeffrey Dahmer in particular, it's
sick and twisted.
It's sick and twisted.
Yeah.
Like, how many, like, I'm sure there's been a documentary about this already. I don't know if there has. They just remake and remake and remake.
Yeah.
Like, at what point do you just stop? Because I went on the wiki, because I was we watched Zodiac. Or the Zodiac. It's like an older one, but like, we watched it the other day. I was like, oh, fuck, you know, I'd never watched it, but then I was talking to him about Jeffrey Dahmer because I'm like, they're coming out with this new series or whatever, and I went on the Wikipedia page and it details all of his killings. And I knew, but it's the details for me. Yeah. I'm like, should we put this on film?
I mean, again, it's been done.
Yeah. What do you think's weirder or like more invasive? The documentary using the names and the people and the actual things, or like this narrative storytelling, putting words, caption stories in a scripted series about it? Do you know what I mean?
I think it's all equally traumatizing, honestly, because you got to look at it from the families that are still alive who are, you know, reliving these details about what happened.
100%.
But then also too, I think we as a society, I think we're constantly triggered all the time with this trauma. It's like, why do we have to keep reliving? So, for example, and I'm gonna bring it right back.
We're gonna circle back.
I watched this one movie this weekend called Jazz Man's Blues, and it was actually a Tyler Perry movie. It didn't seem like
Of course, it was a Tyler Perry movie.
But it didn't seem like a Tyler Perry movie because I think Debbie Allen was on the movie and she did the choreography, but the directing was very different. Medea was nowhere in it. It wasn't a funny movie. It was basically
disclaimer. Medea was not.
And I really did not like the movie because it was basically exploiting Black trauma all over again. Like I call it slave porn. That's one of the reasons why I don't like Lena Waithe. And I'm like, I don't understand how us continuing to see Black bodies literally hanging from trees. Like, who is that for? Who are you wanting to watch that? Because we as Black people, we know, or people who are socially conscious as well, we know what that looks like, and we've heard about it, we've seen it.
You can still be educated on it in school, which of course fucking racist America is trying to erase, and I'm not going to talk about that, but like, you can, like, I learned about it in school. You know, like, you know, whatever.
Why do you have to put it in a documentary
for
or
entertainment purposes?
Exactly. Like, it's like, who needs to see that? Because we live racism every single day. So why can you take that part of the movie out, or even insinuate that this is what happened? But we shouldn't have to keep reliving this stuff. But I think even going back to the Jeffrey Dahmer situation, it's the same thing. Like, you are giving people more ideas of how to kill, how to do. Yeah, you're only feeding their appetite. It's
reinvigorating.
It's just like a pedophile. If you keep putting little 2-year-olds in front of them and just like, oh, look at this pretty little dress, you're only feeding that appetite before they actually go out and lunge on it. So it's like, stop feeding this big beast that's out there. And I mean, I'm not saying that it's not, like you said, it's educational, and I think people should know about it. But
there's other ways. There's other ways, and that's
well, exactly.
They say about these people who they catch, or, you know, with like mass violence and stuff, like either they catch them before, or like they commit the act and then they go, like, you know, they go investigate or find all their shit at their house, whatever, and it's like, I was inspired by the like,
so
like, what am I allowed to do
the Zac
You can.
Oh yeah,
we did that on
Netflix.
For all of you who are listening and aren't watching this on YouTube, Megan is flicking off double fingers to the world.
Can you blur? Can you blur?
Yeah, Laura put boxes over your fingers. Oh my god, or emojis.
Yeah.
Did you
Sorry,
see
Eileen.
Yes, my mom hates it when we cuss on the podcast, Megan. Did you see the Zac Efron Ted Bundy movie?
I know.
The Zac Efron Ted Bundy movie that he made a couple years ago.
No, I didn't watch it.
This was like, this kind of got brought up then too.
They thought he was so cute.
Glamorizing.
They thought he was so cute. But the thing about...
that's what it is. It's glamorizing murderers. And that's...
So the thing was, in this specific film, it wasn't so much about the murders themselves, but about like him and his relationship with his wife and how he was doing all this weird stuff there, but he was this family man.
Oh, was he?
Okay. Anyway, the point I'm trying to make.
But I
Megan,
know.
that's something I would say.
Okay. I'll stop my podcast over. Thanks, everyone. Tune in next week.
He was a serial killer, but let's talk about how he is also a family man. Like, no!
And not how he's a family man, but how he was married to this woman who thought things were weird, like maybe he's cheating on me, but didn't
show the full dynamic of this.
So and I haven't seen the new show, the Jeffrey Dahmer one. I'm wondering if I have to watch it. I'll watch it for the both of us.
Of course you will.
Yes, I will.
You do the shit. You watch the crime stuff.
I have a fucked up mind. I always think I'm being sex trafficked.
I cannot.
That's another story. But I'm wondering if this show is going to be the gory, murdery part, or like these are the people he knew. This is how he acted. This is the things that happened.
This is who he swindled.
Gianni Versace, the assassination of Gianni Versace. Get into the
because that shit's interesting.
No, I
to
didn't.
me.
I
Like,
didn't
why
watch
is
that.
this person fucked up? Why are they weird? How did other people not know? What are the things they did that made other people suspect, but they never knew? Like, how did they
I'll
get
tell
away
you
with
why.
it for so long?
Inflation. That's what causes it. Inflation.
It's the economy, baby.
Damn it. It makes no sense.
Okay, also, just last take on that. Like, a white man from the Midwest. Least suspect, like, no one's,
True.
not, like, nicest people. You know, we were just there.
Yeah,
Like,
for real.
But
Definitely.
no, crazy.
Chicago wasn't the Midwest.
No.
Tis.
When we never told anyone we moved to Illinois. We just said, we live in Chicago.
Yeah.
No, but crazy. But
I also did watch, I started to watch the movie Lou with Journey Smollett and what's her name? Her last name is Sweeney. She played
Sydney Sweeney.
Yes.
Love that girl.
Yes.
Euphoria. Because you didn't watch Euphoria.
No, but she played in The Help as Skeeter's mama. Skeeter.
No, that's
Skeeter.
different people
No,
then.
that's what? Wait, who did you say?
Sydney Sweeney. She's blonde and young with big tits.
Oh no, that's not her. She's older. She played Skeeter's mama. Damn it. And she played
That is
in.
a perfect description.
Hold on, let me get her because she's an Academy Award winner. God damn it, what's her name? And when you're gonna be so mad when you hear this too. Lou movie. What's her damn name?
I want to find out.
Allison Janney. That's her name.
Allison
see a picture?
Janney.
Yeah, can I have some evidence?
You didn't? Yeah.
I don't know who that is.
Also,
Yes, you do.
When
she's in everything.
Yeah.
She's the mom in Juno.
Yes, the mom in Juno. Yes, and she's
that role.
and she's the mom in I, Tonya.
And she's the mom in the show Mom.
Yes.
It's the way Monica
She's
only
a
has
great mom.
one tab up
She's
at a
the
time.
teacher
It's so
in 10
funny.
Things I Hate About, or the principal
Yes.
in 10 Things I Hate About You that's like typing that weird novel.
Gotcha.
She won an Academy Award. She's amazing. But yeah, she's in that movie. And it's about a little girl that gets kidnapped pretty much by her dad. And they just try to get her back. Whatever. I mean,
Great.
Got
We
it.
love a
Action.
Hallmark movie.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that's Hallmark. Well, anything else we need to talk about before we get out of here and let these people go?
He's like, actually, I had a lot to get off my chest. So I'm just getting warmed up, girl.
I was just gonna do a little cleanup. I said my friend earlier told us enough about the whole staying in shape thing.
Yeah.
I think it came more from a played sports together thing.
Oh,
Played
yeah.
football
He's like, this is
together,
locker room
things
talk, girl.
Here, you fat
Don't worry, he won't be mad at
It was
you.
a tighten up thing. I
Yeah.
don't run with a crowd. That's
No, he wouldn't be mad at you.
Hey, we don't
lives in
body shame
Dallas,
around
that
here.
tells you
Cool.
anything.
If it tells you
Yeah.
anything, yeah.
Exactly.
I mean that's nice. We have a whole group chat that's just like, bitches, I hope you worked out today. I had to work out today.
We had
Get it together.
an accountability, workout
Yeah, accountability.
Yeah.
chat
you
thing.
go.
No, that was fun because it was like.
It's like, well, shit. If she had the energy to work out, I need to get my ass.
And then when anyone had a rest
Yeah.
day, they'd be like, "Yes, queen, get your rest. We need to rest up for the."
Y'all are
it
good
was
friends
so
because me and my
positive.
friends, we just text each other, "Hey, bitch, get your fat ass in the fucking gym." That's all we do.
It
This
also
whole show
takes
was
that
just like,
tone.
It literally would be like, oh my god, I feel so bad I didn't work out today. No, honey, you needed a rest day.
Yeah,
No, we don't
you
do that.
needed that pizza.
I'll take
We
one
all
too.
did.
Eat the donut.
That's
Yeah.
so funny.
Oh, I feel so much better. Like, because I'm doing this. Yeah. No, for sure.
That is hilarious. Well, y'all remember to have a great week on purpose, y'all. This week is going to be amazing. I can feel it in my bones, and I'm excited.
Yes.
We are also
Yes.
too praying for all of the men, women, and children in Puerto Rico who have suffered, and the Dominican
crazy-
Oh
Republic
my gosh,
who have
the
suffered
earthquakes in
from
Mexico. Oh my god, this world's falling apart.
what is it? Hurricane
really
Fiona that devastated both Puerto
Yeah.
Rico and Dominican Republic. We are definitely praying for them.
Yeah.
Y'all remember to have an amazing rest of your week. Thank you
Yes,
so very
thank
much,
you,
Doctors Johan and Dr.
Megan.
Megan.
Oh,
We
thank
appreciate
you.
you being on our
Yeah.
podcast.
Also, ladies, just your podcast is amazing.
Well, thank you for
Yeah,
having
keep it
me.
up.
so proud of you guys.
Thank
It's just
you.
it's so
Thanks.
fun to
Megan's
come
been
today.
with us since the beginning.
Yeah.
Honestly, yes.
She's
but
the president of our fan club.
100%.
Hello. No, I'm so proud of y'all, and it's like funny. You have a following. You know,
funny we have
I
a
just want
following.
to give you ladies your flowers.
Megan's been listening to me talk
you.
shit for years for free. So.
Yeah.
For free.
For free.
Might
I
as
said
well
it's
make a
about
career
damn
out of
time
it.
you make us some money from this,
Exactly.
okay?
Like, I've had to put up with it for years.
We can't work in rehab forever, so
God, I hope you all
yeah.
do.
Now we don't have to listen to this episode.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You already there.
But you do. Like, download,
But
subscribe,
everyone
babe.
else
Yes,
does.
absolutely.
Yeah.
All right, y'all. Y'all remember to spread love.
Spread light.
And don't forget to laugh your face off.
Do a little
This
dance.
little
Do
outro
dance, do
song. I think you're good. I think you're good of the week.
Hey, did you guys enjoy this episode? If so, don't forget to follow us on all our social media platforms, including
TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and YouTube at The Face Off Pod. New episodes are released every Tuesday.
Thanks for watching.